Okay, hello again. This is Warhammer from Steel Reapers Airsoft Militia, with another gun video. Today I'm going to review a gun that I personally use and like a whole lot because of its adjustability as far as FPS and just the layout of the gun, which is the PTS Masada in both AKM, uses AK mags, style mags, and the M4 version. And since they're basically both the same, and I'll point out some differences between the two, obviously the big thing is the different magazines. The nice thing about the Masada is, number one, it's ambidextrous. So Dennis here, Warhammer, I'm a lefty, so I got my mag release on the left side and my safety So this gun works really good for me, okay? Another thing too is when you charge the weapon, it locks the faux bolt to the rear and allows you access to your hop-up. Something you need to know about this gun, the hop-up that comes in it, the unit, is unique to the Masada. The nub and everything, bucking. So there isn't a lot of aftermarket parts as far as upgrades. And we'll go over it into upgrades in just a second here. But what I did find is one CNC style unit that will go with this. Now, on EVX's website a while back, they had a hop-up unit that said compatible with PTS Masada, A and K Masada. It's only compatible with the A and K Masada, not the PTS version. To release the bolt, right here. And again, it's ambidextrous. Just push down, and there you have it, bolt seated forward. One thing I want to let you know is the charging handle is reversible on both sides. There's also a tiny little spring in here that you have to push back in order to release charging handle just to switch it to the other side. There's no disassembly, but if that spring pops out like mine did, hit the kitchen floor, well, guess what? Spring's kind of a unique size, and I had to search through all my parts bins and finally found something that was sort of compatible. So it hasn't fallen out yet, but anyway, just to let you know, be careful when you're doing that. The big difference, obviously, with the AKM version and the M4 version is the bolt release. So the bolt release again, right there on the M4 version. On the AKM version, it's right here. It's kind of hard to get to. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's really small. You really got to get your finger around the trigger to get in there to release it. Enough said about that. Let's go back to the M4. As far as what do you have to do to adjust the FPS? Well, this is one of the things I really like about this gun. So let's say you go to the field and you chrono, you're a little hot. And you don't have a spare spring, but you do have a pair of wire cutters. You can clip your spring down enough to get in there to where you're making your chrono. The way you access that is you pull these pins, move the stock up, and right back in here is, just an Allen key, and you remove the cap for the spring and replace your spring. So this gun, you can, on the fly, literally can switch out, get your FPS to what you need it for whatever game. The battery goes up in the handguard. Nice thing about this gun is it's got some slots on this for your M-lock rail pieces, but you can actually wire it to the front if you want to run a front wired PEC box. Okay, to get to the handguard, or take the handguard off so that you can put a battery in. I'm running the Noveski Pig on the front, so this has got to come off, in order to remove the handguard. The handguard's removed by just pushing this pin through here, slide it forward. I use the 11.0 lipos, the triple flat stick type. So they fit in here really nice. You kind of wrap them around the barrel, get the handguard back on, flash hider back on. I've used some of the round type lipo batteries. They're a bit of a bear to try to get in. You're going to fight with them a little bit, okay? Another thing about this gun is your adjustability on the stock. I mean, it's just about it, something for everybody. Also, you got a cheek riser, so you pull this back, pull that up. So if you want more height, if you're running just goggles and not a face mask. If you're running a face mask, down lower so you can get the right cheek weld and sight alignment. Overall, these guns, they've been around for a while. We've had the AKM version for quite a bit. Used it with pretty good success. I've used the M4 off and on. I always take it to events and end up using something else, and I'm like, man, I really wanted to run the Masada. But anyway, as far as the gun, it also comes with backup sight in the rear, standard mag pull, and you depress this pin up front, and then you've got a spring-loaded sight up there. Put it back down, you just push that little pin over to that side. Again, check it out. Flips right up, okay? Like I said, the gun's got a nice weight to it. And one of the things I really liked about this, and I don't run, you notice this handguard slick, I just like the way this handguard, and Magpul's, as far as human engineering goes, we've got this thing right. It's just super comfortable. I've ran pistol grips, just tried it out, AFG, just don't need it. It just works so fine the way it is. These guns are pretty reliable. I will say too, they're also kind of pricey. I think the black M4 versions are still going for like $500, which is a lot of money. But I think you're getting a lot of gun. I mean, the big thing for me is obviously quick change spring. I mean, the only thing that you could do faster on the fly as far as FPS goes is with HPA guns. You just adjust your air pressure. But as far as AEGs go, this is the one I would recommend if you got the money to do, because it's just such a great gun. One thing I want to point out on the AKM version real quick, these mags, and you see a bunch of different versions and companies selling these mags. The thing that you got to look for if you're buying replacement mags is this feed hole right here is up forward. If it's in the middle, it's not going to work with this gun, so you got to have this particular mag. This is a PTS one. I think there's a couple I've seen that aren't PTS. I could be wrong, but that's probably the most important thing right there. And of course, it's an AKM, so it's just like a regular AK as far as your magazine release and getting your magazine lined up, your front lip there lined up, and there you go. My son, Snake Eyes, used this gun during Copperhead a couple years ago, and I mean, literally, he was the harbinger of death with it. It's got a great range. I think he was running 400 FPS, and so if you got any comments or questions about this, like I said, this is a gun I would recommend. If you're going to look for one gun to do it all on the field or in your CQB arena, this is the gun to go with. I can't say enough about them. Anyway, if you like this video, or if you got any comments or questions, or maybe I missed something, just let me know. And again, this is Warhammer from Steel Reapers Airsoft and Airsoft Militia. And again, call those hits.